Brown,
Yes.
Hanley,
Yes.
Ms. Mumford,
Yes.
and Wilson.
Here.
Okay. We'll sign up. Community affairs, we have any listed to talk about tonight? Okay, meeting minutes. Meeting minutes for the February 17th meeting are in your packet. If you haven't had a chance to look them over, see anything needs changed, amended, or corrected, let me know. Otherwise, I will accept a motion to approve the council meeting minutes of February 17th as recorded.
I'll make the motion.
Motion, Miss Marcy,
I'll second.
second, Mr. Tanner. Whenever you're ready.
Brown,
Yes.
Hanley, Mumford,
Yes.
Wilson.
You're gonna have a hard time approving them, correct?
So, you guys can approve what's written, just what you read,
Okay.
you're not approving
It
on
goes
verbal.
with the majority.
So
On
there's
this
still-
one, it goes with the majority, you're
Okay.
fine.
Just so you know too, you guys can't approve them,
You
just what
can't
you're
approve
reading.
them.
Even though you're not there.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we're good, okay. Thank
Either
you.
way, they
I had to
carry.
think of the low count.
Okay,
It goes with the majority, so it passes.
on that,
Yeah.
alright.
Sorry, got your luck.
Huh?
You didn't get a vote
Yeah,
yet.
I was all set. I was gonna abstain, but I was here, so I couldn't do that.
Mhm.
I know you just love it. Mr. Mumford, you're the first officer to report, sir.
Thank you. Looking for approval of February 2026 bills paid. Amount to $1,086,734.41.
Were any of these transfers by any chance?
I don't
Don't think so.
think so. Do you remember? Gail?
No, I started to look at that and then something happened.
Okay. That's not that out. of
When our gas and electric bill were high again
Yep,
this
no, that's understandable.
these months.
That's understandable. The last 2
And-
months have been a little bit on there.
Speaking of that, side note real quick, if people got their utility bills, the PGA gas rate is quite a bit higher this month. We got a notice
A couple weeks ago.
about 3 or 4 weeks
Yeah.
ago from IMEA saying that it will be higher, price of gas was up. We locked part of our rates in a while back, but still that other part that wasn't, people are gonna see it, so you'll probably get a lot of questions.
There's gonna be some hits well, some of it started last month, but the majority of it's this month.
Normally-
If they ask you about it, we can't lock in 100%. We
Yep.
can't hedge 100%. 75% is as much as we can hedge.
And we've done that
And
the
we were
last,
at 75%.
Normally, the PGA rate's anywhere from $3 to $4 a decatherm. I think that's right, decatherm.
Yeah.
This month, I believe it was $7 or $8 a decatherm, so, so it was a little pricier this month.
and that just ain't us, that's the whole, anybody that's hooked up with IMEA or the other
Any gas
suppliers.
provider, yeah.
So, and we actually maintain a lower base for a long time because we did lock in 75%.
I guess we'll just be thankful that we're not, the whole 100% isn't at the higher rate.
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly. So,
Sorry, side note there.
nope, that's fine. Motion to approve the, payment of February 26 bills in the amount of $1,086,734.41 as recorded.
Motion.
Made, Mr. Hanley, second.
Second.
Miss Laurie? Go.
Hanley. Brown.
Yes.
Mumford.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Okay, you still have the floor.
I think that's all I have. Thank
That's
you.
all you had on that? Okay, Treasurer Orton, Gail, you got the floor, ma'am.
I need approval of the February collection deposit report totaling $827,332.91.
Again, this is just a treasury report, it's nothing to do with any other income we could have taken from interest and, some other areas, so,
It's just utility bills only.
yeah, so with what we've taken plus this, we're running pretty close to even on the month, even though we did have more expenses, so. Any questions there in regard to the collection report? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the collection report for the month of February at $827,332.91 as recorded.
So moved.
Ms. Laurie, second please.
I'll second it.
Mr. Tanner. Roll your vote.
Mumford,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Hamlin.
Yes. Okay. Hang on. Get caught up. Attorney Rosenberg, ma'am, you have the floor. Are you going to
I
divert to a later
need
date?
to go into executive session for litigation.
You wanna do it down here?
Yes.
Okay. I'll postpone you till down there then, ma'am. Okay, Director of Public Works, Mr. Staley, you got the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. A few things going on the last couple weeks. Some of our gas guys moving to Fort Wayne for training. Lou's gonna head up to Springfield here in the next couple weeks, for training as well. It's mandatory from the, big news, I guess, that we've been dealing with is Frontier is gonna come through town with, fiber. They're going to be around 25,000 foot of that is going to be Ford.
Up from 1,500 they originally
Yeah,
told us.
yeah, that was a little of a shell shock there.
Yeah.
So they didn't submit the permits for the, boring, they just submitted them for the overlashing to the aerial lines. And so, that's what they're approved for currently, but I still have to review the plans and set a bond amount for all of those, yes.
Same thing, we do the same thing you did with, Sullivan, what was his name? What was them, Connects?
Fiber?
Yeah.
Yes, but I'll have to look back and see what what the bonds were on that. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. So that's
The
coming.
security fund should be the amount of money it would take for the city to restore damage if they did nothing to restore the areas that they're touching. That's what that's a layman's way of saying it. It has some legalese in there, but it's the amount of money that it would take for the city to repair if they didn't repair the area that they're touching.
Okay,
So assume the worst and max it out.
That's why we always recommend that fiber companies do like quadrants, so that they finish this area. You're not setting a security fund for the entire city,
sure.
you're setting a security fund for this area, then they finish that area, clean it up, then do another area. But they wanna just do a blanket like
Yeah,
free for all, but that can cause more issues,
Well, then just
so.
make it a big blanket.
yeah, that's, I think what it's gonna be. They sent me like 10 applications, but they're for different plan sets and,
Then each one should have its own security fund, not one security fund, which is what they'll try to do.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
should, each one.
We've
I'll
learned,
make sure I copy you
we've,
guys on all those emails.
and we've learned the hard way from we've learned the hard way from one of them,
Yes, right.
so, okay.
The collector remodel is going on. We had a pre-bid meeting, last week, and we had some good discussions with the guys. I made it mandatory so we could talk through some things. And, some things came up that they'd like to see in the specs to make it clear. So we're gonna revise those a little bit and then put it back out to bid, without the pre-bid this time. And then, we'll see how that goes. So I need to get with a couple of those guys and just have them walk through the exact specifications that they need to see, to feel more comfortable to make an accurate bid. Tree trimming, I talked to the electrical guys, they've got you on the list. They're gonna try to look at that tomorrow, and Wednesday, and get that, taken care of. We are posting a new position it'll be in the street department. We posted an internal position, we posted a position to be a floater between the sewer department and the water department, and we had an internal application for that job. And it was from our street department, so now the external posting will be for the for the street department, and that will hopefully go out this week. And, so if you guys know anybody, also the summer help, that job posting went out earlier late last week. So again, if you know anybody that would be interested, between the ages of 16 and 18, welcome all applicants for that as well. And I think that's all I have from just like an update front. So I am, just as a topic for discussion, the CSO long-term control plan. This is part of our sewer plant. The NPDES permit requires that we host a public information meeting once every 5 years for the sewer plant and everything that kind of goes on there. So basically, we have special provisions within this NPDES permit, and a public information meeting is one of those set by the EPA. So the engineering firm HWC that we've contracted with provided us this information packet, so it's gonna be available for anybody if they'd like it. We'll print it off for you, and you can have that information, and it's really just a background on our sewer system, our flows, what the requirements of our NPDES permit are, if anybody wants to read into that, and just get a little bit of sewer plant knowledge. So those will be available for anybody moving forward. Just talk to me or Jeremy, and we can print that off for you guys. And I think that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
You bet, all right. Chief, got the floor.
I don't have anything like.
It's nice to be a quiet department. And I knew after I said that, I probably screwed that up.
Say that word.
Yeah, if something happens, you two don't get on me. I was tongue in cheek.
We know where you live.
Economic Director, Mr. Daugherty, you got the floor, sir.
Thank you. Just a couple of items. Last week, the middle of last week, I attended the Illinois Institute for Rural Affairs Rural Community and Economic Development Conference. It was in Springfield, and had lots of good sessions, lots of good meetings with state folks, other communities, got some great ideas. One of the presenters was Mike Davis from the Central Illinois Land Bank Authority, and he did 2 sessions on Thursday, and the reception there was a packed house both times. A lot of communities are interested here in Central Illinois, and I think there will be a lot more members coming out of just that meeting alone. And one of the things that the land bank is working on, and Casey's being featured as part of this push, is to set up meetings with our state legislators to encourage the legislature to fund the land bank like they've been funding the past couple of years, the Chicago area land banks. They've been appropriating $2 million plus to those land banks to help with projects. And we want to make the case that the Central Illinois Land Bank should be funded just like those Chicago area land banks are. It would provide funding outside of the normal state grant structure, which is, competitive. Not all communities, could get it. So that's something exciting that's coming up in the next couple of months. I also want to mention that the letters about the parade will be going out to area businesses, local businesses. We're also going to invite communities around us that may not have parades. If they have organizations, businesses that would like to participate in our big 250 parade this year, those letters, informational letters, and the parade registration forms will be going out this week. So we're hoping we get a lot of participation, and it's a really big parade this year. That's all I've got.
Keep us posted, would you please?
I will.
Okay. Dave's not here. Haven't had anything happen that you know of that Dave would have reported on, do we, as far as events with the?
Yeah, I think he was gonna get with you tomorrow on some stuff.
Okay. Good enough, we'll do that. New business, moving on. Ordinance committee met on, 2/17, and help me out, ordinance committee. Who's the head of that one? Are you?
Carlene.
Carlene is, okay. So, who else is on the committee?
Jeremiah
Jeremiah,
and
who else?
Steve.
And Steve?
I don't think Jeremiah was here up there.
You wasn't here for that one? I guess I'll explain what we're talking about.
meeting, so if you
Okay.
guys discussed it then,
Um,
I don't know about it.
We had a committee meeting in regard to the municipal grocery retailers tax. The state eliminated the 1% grocery tax and put it back upon the municipalities to incorporate it themselves. We had not discussed it in the past, and most of the other local areas had already done it. We had not discussed it at the time because at the time we didn't necessarily have a grocery store to pertain to, but I have since learned that it's not only grocery stores, it is grocery products sold at the convenience stores, the butcher shop and that. So we can implement the municipal side and place it back into effect and be able to maintain that 1% that is going on for the use of that here, which, we discussed in the committee being a good idea to do, since, you know, it's basically, was one that, was taken, the state just passed it on to the municipalities and said, you guys do it yourselves instead of through the state. So we talked about just picking it up and having the ordinance exactly worded as the state had done it, and basically pass it on to us so that it's done through the locals, and we can still maintain our 1% through the grocery and go from there. And after talking with some others, why it was deemed to be a good idea to continue that and move forward with it, since it was already there in place. And we're not adding the new tax, we're just replacing one that the state kicked control from them down to the local municipality. Any questions?
So where does the tax money go?
That would go through corporate,
Yes.
so anything that falls under the corporate line, which is police and that stuff, you know the corporate side, you've been sent to me, so it goes into the corporate, branch of the funding, Tanner. So anything that falls under corporate, what we get would, that'd be part of that pool
Gotcha.
to appropriate as however we see fit at that particular time. And I don't anticipate it being much, but still, I mean, if it's enough to help with some things through corporate and have it there, and it's not, I mean, it's not, we're not adding more, we're just picking up what, you know, plus if we do it now, it can't go into effect until July 1st. So, we would be a little bit behind the 8 ball, 6 months, but that's where you're at. So, but to answer your question, that's corporate money.
Gotcha.
Any other questions? Okay, if not, then, need a motion to approve ordinance 610, which is implementing the municipal grocery retailers tax of 1% and replace that done by the state of Illinois.
So moved.
Miss Lori, I need a second.
I'll second.
Miss Marcy? When you're ready.
Mumford,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Brown,
No.
Hanley.
Yes. Okay. Public Utility Committee met on 2/23. That is Lori. So you can bring up the discussion and I'll throw in anything you need to add
We
up with.
met on February the 23rd, and talked about, renaming the street here in Casey, The street would be Northeast 15th Street that wraps behind, goes down along the side of Boland's and wraps around to the front of the,
It's Grant Street that goes to 13th.
yes. So, we discussed it and we would like to, see that street name be made into, an honorary for Jimmy Boland and be called Jim Boland's Way. We did look at this, and I do have a map here if nobody has this, but there's no houses along this street or this other street that would be affected to have to change their name or change the address. So Boland's just purchased the Casey Telecom building and then also that empty plot that goes with it or whatever. So all of that plus the other, on the other side, which would be on the east side of the road, all of that is Boland's except for, there's a chemical company out here, Heartland Ag.
The Heartland Ag.
So all of this is basically Boland's anyway, except for Heartland Ag, and Heartland Ag's door faces, Boland Boulevard, so they're not gonna have to be changed, so, all of this is Boland's, and, we felt it would be an honor to name the street after him, and plus, it's all theirs out there anyway, so,
It ends up going right through what they're going to annex, and then bends back around, and Grant Street's a little short street that goes from 15th, where it makes the bend and heads east. That's Boland Boulevard, and that's a completely different aspect of it. It bends west and is 15th Street for 2 blocks. And there's absolutely the only people having mailing issues is Boland's themselves. And after talking to Drew and Mike Bohannon, everything they get comes from a PO to a PO box anyway. So that, and with 911, since the street addresses are on the side, it doesn't affect any 911s either, with the exception of Boland's. And they have no problem with that themselves. And we thought it would be a good way to do something in honor of Jimmy for all he's done for the city, and go from there. I plan on, if we approve it, we can have a ceremony at a later date. I've got a couple of individuals looking toward some plaques to honor Jimmy and do some other things. We'll have something when the weather gets a little nicer and go from there. But we thought it'd be nice to be able to get to work on the street for Jimmy and call it Jim Boland's Way because of the way he lived his life and did things. So I thought it would be something that would, our way as a city, to honor the man that's helped us quite a bit. So that's where we're at. Questions for Lori or me? Okay, if not, approval of street renaming from 15th on around to Grant on that bend that you've seen, renaming part of 15th Street and part of Grant Street to Jimmy Boland's Way.
Not
Jim Boland.
What I say, Jim Boland's Way.
You want just Jim
Jim Boland's Way.
Bolin,
Apostrophe S. Jim Boland's Way.
he's possessing the way?
No, it's like, that's it, like Jim Boland's way of living. That's the way. So yeah, I think you have to do apostrophe there. I'm not an
Sorry,
English, we got an English, we got an
I
English,
was just gonna.
so we got an English major in the
I think it
room.
should just be Jim Boland Way, shouldn't it, Sharon?
Depending on, I guess.
I think it depends on how you're saying it.
You got,
There's-
you got 2 English teachers in there, you,
To be his way, so it'd be apostrophe S.
Yeah, I would think it'd be apostrophe S.
okay, cause that's what I'm trying to do, Sharon, is like, his way of living, his way of doing things would be apostrophe S, am I correct?
Oh, if you said it that way, it would be, but I just wondered if that's what you really wanted to name it.
Okay, Jim.
B-O-L-I-N
Apostrophe S.
way, Jim Boland's way.
Now, if
Okay,
you use
sorry.
my English, it could be a whole lot different.
So I'll make sure we're all on the same page
So-
before we do that.
Sharon, hard to find to believe, but English was not my best subject.
Never noticed.
Shocked.
Okay,
Okay,
now that we know what we're going to name it, how we're going to name it, a motion to approve.
You make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Mr. Hanley, a second, please.
I'll second.
Ms. Marcy? Go.
Wilson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Hanley, Mumford.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, folks. And Lori, I'll let you and your committee, when we get a little closer, work on how we're going to and when we're going to, what we're gonna do as far as present and whatnot.
You know how to do that?
Do what?
How to, what we gotta do for that?
For what?
Rename the road?
Oh, it's a local ordinance. It's all over ordinance.
It does touch 40 though, does that make a difference?
I don't think it does, as long as it just interjects with
It's still our
intersection.
road.
Signs on ours.
It's a local road.
Okay.
You can let the state know when it's official.
Okay,
Yeah.
moving on to unfinished business. Resolution, approval of resolution number 030226A, authorizing intergovernmental agreement between the city of Casey and the Casey Westfield Community Units District for an SRO.
So we approved this last meeting, but I didn't realize there was a resolution out there, so now it's just approving the resolution, so that was my fault.
So this will be retroactive to.
To last week.
Yeah.
This is just cleaning up loose ends that our clerk missed.
You
You throw me under the bus.
I would.
You have no comments on it since it was already approved and on and ready to go, and everything's hunky-dory with your side of the fence, correct?
When was the school?
They approved it
Okay.
their last meeting
Okay.
in February, yeah.
No.
Yeah, they sent us.
So all we need then is a motion to approve that intergovernmental agreement, resolution number 030226A, between the city of Casey and the Casey Westfield Community Unit School for the SRO, as discussed and approved last week, or last meeting. Motion,
So moved.
Ms. Laurie, second,
Second.
Mr. Hanley.
Wilson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Hanley,
Yes.
Mumford.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Tracy, you missed me.
Okay, now,
Don't let there be any holidays on Monday.
Twice a year.
council action, we need to go into executive session for the purpose of pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C, lease, purchase, sale of property, section 2C5, litigation, section 2C11. Did I get it all in?
Purchase and lease and sale and lease are two separate ones. One's under section 2C6 and one under section 2C5, so you need those two. And then litigation, section 2C11. It-
So we have three things to discuss, but I said them all correctly. Don't hesitate to give me credit.
He didn't, but go ahead.
You said what I wrote down, so.
Okay. Okay, with that, motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
Made,
Second.
second, Miss Lloyd. Roll your vote.
Brown,
Yes.
Hanley,
Yes.
Mumford,
Yes.
Wilson.